Before the stream starts, I wanted to read a statement that I've prepared. So I'm going to go ahead and read this and then we'll get on with the rest of the stream. During the international break, I made some comments which may have made me look like a bit of an idiot, hence the sign above. Between the 1st of September and 14th of September, I concluded that Norwich probably wouldn't score against Man City and Pukki's ceiling was about 6 points. To Daniel Farker, I can only apologise for underestimating your team. They fought not only valiantly but also took their chance as well. Conceded many chances, but it didn't stop the defence from doing everything in their power from keeping it to just one goal. To Teemu Pukki, you are this season's Jimenez. I've underestimated you once, and I will not do it again. Many times over the last few years, I've stated to always play the attacker and to have bench fodder that you never play unless absolutely needed. This season, I've gone against those principles, and basically I'm a fraud. Going forward, I'll look to rectify this and will not make this mistake again. And lastly, to anyone that's blamed me for making me bench Pukki or making them bench Pukki, to be honest, screw you. You should make your own decisions. And now, a word from our sponsors. Thanks, as always, to fantasyfootballscout.co.uk for sponsoring the stream. If you haven't already, links are in the description. Go and check them out. Yes, I benched Teemu Pukki, one of the worst decisions I've ever made. But look, it's done. He's hurt me. I feel bad. I am an idiot. If you benched him just because I was doing it, well, what can I do about that? That's your own problem. After all the setup, I've forgotten to set the bloody points above. That looks rubbish. Might have to do it on the fly right now. How are we all today? Did anyone have a good Game Week 6? Game Week 5 even. I'm already one step ahead. I played 5 at the back for the second time this season. It was rubbish. Just going to switch to this screen for just a second while I sort out what my team did. Yeah, I set up everything, but not this. Let me just do this and bring the chat back up. Will I bench Teemu Pukki ever again? No, not unless he's injured. That was a big mistake. You've got a good team, you just don't understand. Yeah, that's kind of not my problem, but one of the things I'm thinking about with... Why is this not working? 294. Don't know what my game week rank is. Doesn't probably matter. Game week points 38. Sucks doing this on the fly, but let's just get it out because otherwise I'll be asked for it loads. Overall rank is like ridiculous. 511,000 plus. Let's see if this works. And then we're back into it properly. Okay, if this hasn't worked, we'll just leave it. Let's switch back. Dun da da da. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so 38 points. Really poor. Put Pukki on the wall. Might have to. If Marco's watching, we might have to put it on. Atsu assist. I know for that Williams goal that for the guy that I'd never heard of until he smashed the goal. I've not even seen it. I heard it was a screamer, and another Liverpool clean sheet gone. It's been a bit of a killer. And we'll talk about my team, I guess, a bit. I'm kind of a bit stuck with my team. I've looked through lots and lots of different scenarios for what I could do. I mean, ultimately, let me set it because this is not good viewing, right? This is not good viewing for me having to look at this team for last week. So let's look at next week. It's maybe a bit more hopeful. Pukki goes to on the bench. Jesus, not that again. Lundstram goes to the bench where he belongs. Lundstram, Dendoncker, Greenwood. They are my bench fodder. They stay on the bench every single week. Fix the green screen. What's wrong with it? I think it looks okay. Apart from a big shiny forehead. I could just stay like this for the rest of the stream. Yeah, I think I think I do want to go to 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. Basically, if I take Van Dijk out, basically, and move into a 4 million bench fodder like Rico and just basically play Robertson, Lucas Digne, and Zinchenko every week, then I have 7 million to spend on a midfielder or a forward. It's just not enough. There's no real full midfielder that stands out to me apart from Mount, and I've already got Mount, so I can't get him. And then for a striker, I've already got Pookie and Barnes. There's no one else below 7 million that I want. Mopé, not great fixtures. Wesley, I'm just not a fan of him at all. Who else is there? King, I've had him. I don't necessarily want to go back. Jota, sorry, not Jota. Yeah, well, Jota's no good. Deulofeu, not sure about him either. So there's no one under 7 million that I want. So Abraham's the obvious one, 7.3. But I'm 0.3 million off getting him if I take out Van Dijk. Now, I could take out Robertson, but that means no Liverpool fullbacks. And obviously I can rectify that on a wild card, but I don't know how long I'd want to do that for. So I could take out Robertson, keep Van Dijk, and do Greenwood to Abraham. Otherwise, if I want to take out Van Dijk to Abraham or Haller, who I guess everyone wants to sell now because he's blanked and got Man United next, then I would have to find 0.5 million from somewhere, which is Salah to Mane or Zinchenko down to a 5 million. And that's about the only way I'd want to do it, really. So I'm kind of stuck. And because I've got 2 free transfers, I have to make some kind of move this week. So I have to have a plan in place, which I'm not too sure about. So yeah, I'm kind of a bit stuck with what to do. So we'll see. The thing with Abraham and Haller, I don't really need to get them in this week, apart from price rises, because Abraham is playing Liverpool. And yes, of course, he could score. We've seen Pookie score, I get it. Abraham scored 3 games in a row. But you'd imagine he won't score too many, although that's famous last words, as we've seen. And Haller plays Man United, who I think have been defending okay, so I don't need to get them in this week necessarily. So I'm not, but I need to make a transfer. So Van Dijk probably needs to go. I've looked at Aurier, and then the following week maybe do Zinchenko to Rico or something like that. But I don't know. Am I tempted to buy a wild card? Not really. Anyway, there was a super chat that I've missed. Is the music on? Oh yeah. Is Digne worth 6+ million with Everton's shambolic defence? The thing is, he's kept 2 clean sheets already and 2 assists. So I feel like, yeah, he's worth keeping for a bit longer. Sheffield United are home next. I mean, after that it's Man City. Maybe that's when you get rid of him. And maybe that's where I get my extra money from. Maybe I keep Zinchenko for a little bit longer. But yeah, I think he's okay for now. Figure out what you'd want on a wildcard and try your best to replicate that. I mean, I'd basically want the same, but with Abraham, right? Instead of one of the defenders. I literally think that's all I would do. I think I'd still want one Liverpool defender, even though they've not been great. I'd probably keep Zinchenko for now, and Lucas Digne. Mount for sure, Sterling for sure, De Bruyne for sure, and Salah. Sure, it could be Mane, but I could do that for a -4. Yeah, Robertson is a. I don't know. I don't want to say injury because he's going to send people into panic, but he has got a chance of missing the European game apparently. So they're doing like late tests or whatever on him. So we'll see. If he was out, obviously that would make my life pretty easy in terms of what to do. I think on Wildcard you can restructure to 4 elites rather than 3. I don't. How? I think you have to go really cheap in defence. And who'd you buy, basically? You think Zinchenko's time is up was awful. Yeah, that is a bit of a worry, but I don't think Mendy was even on the bench, was he? So is he going to suddenly jump in? Not sure. Am I getting annoyed at Sterling's captain blanks? Maybe. Should I be getting annoyed at myself for not just going for the home team? Possibly. You got Mane, Son, Sterling, Aguero, and Vertonghen, Zinchenko, Lucas Digne. Yeah, fair enough. No Liverpool defence. Don't know why you'd commit to Sterling and De Bruyne but not go with Salah and Mane. Well, Sterling and De Bruyne is a lot cheaper. Storm Gaming, 1 defender pick for Game Week 6 who's not Lucas Digne and Zinchenko. Game Week 6, I'd have to have a look at the fixtures quick. Game I guess you can't double up on Man City. Maybe you probably don't want to right now. I don't know. It's hard, to be honest. You know, Man United against West Ham, I probably wouldn't go there. Palace against Wolves, maybe. Could go for Van Arnold. Newcastle versus Brighton. There's not too many standout defenders, I don't think. And this is the problem that I'm having, personally, with my own team. A few minutes Sterling. Yeah, everyone's going to be annoyed with him. I'm pretty much going to captain him next week. I think Salah versus Chelsea is okay because Chelsea are shipping goals left, right, and centre. But I think I give Man City a home another go. He's only blanked twice. It is annoying. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the end of the world. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like he's fine. You know, he was good for 3 weeks. Is he suddenly awful after 2? The fourth midfielder spot is my concern. Yeah, for me, it does look like it's kind of Mount or no one right now. Maybe not no one. Another player I've looked at, by the way, to go 3-5-2 was Lamella. Now Matt's in the chat. Lamella 6.1. I could do Van Dijk to whoever really, 4.5, and then Dendonka to Lamella. Lamella started every game so far, but I know that's going to be a short-term pick. Cantwell, yeah, I could go 3-5-2 with Cantwell. Not the worst shout, to be honest. Just bank the money. Could pretty much go Van Dijk to any other player. But then I'd always have the decision of benching whoever I bring in defence or Cantwell, and I think that would do my head in, to be honest. Yeah, maybe I am overthinking it. Maybe I should just go Cantwell. And that would be really easy to do as well. Why not captain De Bruyne and Pep not going to bench him again? I just feel like Sterling's got a bigger haul in him. If you're okay with shared game time. Yeah, that's the thing. But he started every game, but I assume at some point he's probably going to miss out. Are we ignoring Cantwell purely because of his price? Do you know what? Probably, yes. Probably. We'll see. Mendy in the Champions League scored close to minutes. Yeah, I don't disagree, but I just feel like I feel like that's been said for weeks. That's why I made the joke that Zinchenko's missed out for 5 games in a row. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be panicking. Pochettino mentioned rotation in the presser, so Lamella could get rested. I mean, if he gets rested for the Champions League, maybe then he'd play in the league. I mean, Son would be great, but he's very expensive. Yeah, Buendia's look good, but you can just get Cantwell for less money. I think if you've got a good way to get Son in, it could be a good time to bring him in. Yeah, I mean, he's always going to do well. Keep Haller. I don't think you need to knee-jerk Haller out. Interestingly, it did say, did mention on the preview that in terms of kind of shooting stats and stuff, him and Abraham were very close. But Abraham was also creating a good few chances as well, so they weren't too far off. The only thing I said would put people off would be the fixtures, Wolves away and Liverpool at home. But maybe we've got to stop thinking that Wolves are a tough side to play at the moment. Obviously, that's easy to say now. They've just shipped 5 goals. But I mean, I wasn't obviously expecting a hat-trick. I thought Abraham could keep up with Haller maybe, but wasn't necessarily expecting it over the next 2 games. So a hat-trick was pretty damn good. I think if you've got a bad rank, I think you just have to try and forget about it. I'd say I haven't checked my points versus kind of the top 10k, top 1k, but I bet I'm not too far behind already. So if you're at like 1.5 million, like that does suck. But like I said on Twitter, if in 1 week you drop from like, I've seen people dropping from like 200k to 1 million this week. If you can drop that much in a week, you can rise that much in a week, especially this early on. All it takes is, you know, all those people without Sterling. Sterling gets a captain haul this week. Mount comes in with another goal. De Bruyne starts. Pukki and Barnes are on the score sheet, etc. And suddenly you're in the points. You went up 1 million places. There you go. What did you say, Matt? You have to assume Son, Kane, Eriksen are nailed. Then it's one spot for a returning Ali, an on-form Lamella, and a very good Lucas Moura. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but Lamella, I knew that when I thought about him. He's probably not the best Best pick. I beat you every game week. Well done, DJ Chris. Congratulations. You went from 160k to 1 million plus. I mean, let me see what mine is now. I was 152k, I think. Oh, it hurts. I think I was 152. Yeah, 152k, and now I'm... now I'm trying to figure out how to check it. Okay, here we go. You can, before anyone asks, you can do this on livefpl.net/rank. I'm 580k. I don't know if that's taken into account subs yet, but it probably has. So, yeah, that's a pretty horrible drop. 430,000 places. Not good. Not good at all. Abraham plays for Chelsea. Haller plays for West Ham. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I can see Wolves keeping a clean sheet. Yeah, I mean, Wolves not good. But like I said, if I have a good week next week, I would expect that rank to go up almost as much as it's come down. So, not panicking too much. What else is there to talk about? You're back on Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Felt really calm watching them. Yeah, I mean, they do create loads. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold has created the most chances in the whole league. Unless anyone caught up tonight, which, I mean, Lanzini may have done, I suppose, because he'd had quite a few as well. Trent had created the most chances of the whole league, including De Bruyne. Obviously, De Bruyne missed out because he had limited minutes. But yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold has created 21 chances this season. I mean, that's insane. Trent is sort of the reason the clean sheets aren't coming. I did hear it was his fault. I didn't see that match. I didn't see most of it. So I missed the goal. Will you even wildcard this half of the season? I mean, all I would say is, to anyone that thinks I should be wildcarding, who am I bringing in that I don't own? I mean, Trent instead of Robertson is obviously, you know, a nicety. I don't know if it's worth a wildcard. Otherwise, I'd pretty much just bring in a third forward. Have you ever had 2 free transfers and not made a transfer? I don't think so. I know people have done it. I've half thought about doing it this week, but I don't think I can keep 2 Liverpool defenders. So I've basically got to make up my mind and decide what the hell I'm doing. Still don't understand why you chose Sheffield United defender over an informed striker, because I'm an idiot. Look, the statement's been done. Can't keep going over that. I mean, Callum Wilson, what's there not to like? Points every single game week. Yeah, there's not much to like about, to dislike. The only thing is, and I know stats aren't the be all and end all, but he's not shooting that much. I think he's only had 6 shots in 5 game weeks, which is pretty low. Obviously, he's only just started scoring goals. Three shots in the box, 3 shots on target, 3 goals. But you would expect him to improve in that regard. So, and Bournemouth's fixtures are pretty good. So I think him, Haller, and Abraham, I actually think it's pretty close. Does ownership come into transfer at this stage? Nope. I haven't looked at ownership at all, really. I mean, I know who's highly owned and stuff. Obviously, I do know that. I'm not completely oblivious to who's got high ownership and stuff, and I will talk about that. Like when it comes to captaincy and stuff, like if Salah Halls and your captain blanks, it does hurt. But yeah, I don't really care when I bring him in. I'll bring in whoever is going to hopefully score the most points. Aubameyang's interesting because obviously Lacazette's not fit at the moment, so that pretty much puts Aubameyang in nailed on. Obviously he was starting anyway even when Lacazette was there, but the most important thing is he's central now. Arsenal are a bit rubbish though. I mean, they could have put that game to bed, couldn't they? And then just absolutely did not put it to bed. He only had 2 shots on target, bam, 2 goals. But he is clinical. We know that. He has been for a very, very long time, both for Arsenal both at Arsenal and before. So I like Aubameyang. I know Super Tiger mentioned it last week or the week before. And there are a lot of people now saying, can they drop Salah to get Aubameyang in? Because Salah, realistically, I just don't see you captain him that often. But at the same time, he's only blanked once. So is he going to have another 300-point season where he barely blanks against anyone? So Aubameyang does have nice fixtures. And obviously, if you swap Salah out for him, you save 1.5 million as well. But I just don't know if I can bring myself to do it. Arsenal, yeah, to be fair, it is the defence, but I don't know. Just there's so many changes all the time in that team. You wonder if they can ever really settle. I don't know. I like Aubameyang. I think if you've gone for him, fair play, and maybe that's the kind of decision I need to make. Aston Villa up next. You know me. I'm gonna keep Salah. What do I think about starting Mount for Game Week 6? Look, I'm gonna go back to my all-time motto, which is always play your attackers, keep your bench players on the bench. So Mount plays. I'm not even going to consider that Lundstram might do something against Everton. He's probably not going to get a clean sheet. So Mount plays. And Liverpool obviously only kept one clean sheet, so they've not exactly been great. And Mount is at home too, so yeah, I'm going to play him. Not even getting into that discussion, really. It'd be interesting to see with Everton whether Moise Kean plays next week, because I don't know, Calvert-Lewin played and then got his goal. I just don't think he's good enough for Everton. What's my team worth? 102 million is the squad value, because I looked earlier. The advantage of having high team value is just being able to afford more higher priced players. And later on in the season, when you're wildcarding and stuff, it can be nice to be able to dish the funds around. But it's not the be-all and end-all. I think in my best season ever, I didn't have good team value from what I remember. Yeah, defenders right now, honestly, I'm kind of like ripping my hair out. I don't know where to go with defenders. I really don't. I hold my hands up here and now and say, I looked at defenders earlier, and either I already own them, they're a rotation risk, or they don't have a nice run of fixtures coming. I don't know, it feels like no one has a good run of fixtures. So, yeah, Otamendi, let's see if he keeps his place first after the mistake and just goals after goals that they concede. So, Man United, not been giving away too many chances. West Ham away, I'm not sure I'd bank on a clean sheet there. Then it's Arsenal, then it's Newcastle away, then it's Liverpool. And then even after that, they've got Norwich and Bournemouth, but they're both away games. So, I don't know. I like Man United from like game week 12. Maybe. But then it's Spurs and Man City soon after that. Yeah, so Rose, you could go Spurs, all right? I might give you Spurs. Leicester away, Southampton at home, Brighton away, Watford at home. I think the reason I disregarded them is because I really want Aurier, because he's only 4.9 million. But you just don't know how long. I mean, he played really well, right, against Palace. So you'd hope that would put him in. But we know Pochettino rotates his fullback, so even Rose isn't safe, and Rose is 5.5. And also, at the same time, when I say there's no defenders, I'm also trying to factor in trying to get Abraham in as well. So I can't spend more than 5 million. But yeah, I will give you, like the likes of Vertonghen maybe. Could be a good option. Chelsea not keeping clean sheets. Crystal Palace, let's have a look. Yeah, Wolves and Norwich at home, West Ham away, Man City at home, Arsenal away. I don't know. Don't like that run. Yeah, Leicester's fixtures aren't great either. I think they've got... See, if you don't have to play them every week, then it's a bit of a different story. But Spurs at home, Newcastle at home, maybe a clean sheet against Newcastle at home and Burnley. Outside of that, it's a lot of away games, though, including Liverpool. So... will Chelsea keep clean sheet all season? They need Rudiger back. They need Kante, and then let's see. So let me show you, because I know people quite like the old tinker. So let's see if I get Van Dijk out, right? And I want Abraham. So I got 3.7 million to spend. So even if I got Rico in, I would have to find 0.3 million from somewhere. And that's basically the situation that I'm in right now. if I want to do it that way. Now, I could do Zinchenko down to Aurier. Not sure. But the thing is, yeah, I could just do Robertson out instead. That is an option. I don't know if it's an option I like. The thing with Man City, and one thing to say, I don't have to bring the striker in this week. I can just make one defender switch. So let's say I was doing Van Dijk to Rico and Lucas Digne or Zinchenko down to Aurier, whoever, or Vertonghen, whoever it might be. I can bring in the good player this week and do the Rico move the week after and do it for free. Excuse me, so that's an option as well. But the thing with Man City is, and why I don't really want to get rid of Zinchenko, I know, I've seen the stats for Otamendi and Stones, right? But Watford at home, Everton away, Wolves at home, Palace away, Villa at home, Southampton at home. There is clean sheets there, surely. Surely. And Lucas Digne, I just don't think I'm not ready to let go to any of these players. Now, Man City at home is obviously going to be tough for Everton, but then it's Burnley away, West Ham at home, Brighton away. It's not awful. And we know he's got attacking returns as well. If Mendy starts a Champions League game, then yeah, I worry about Zinchenko. Like, I'm not under any illusion that when Mendy is fully fit, he is the better option for Pep. So yeah, that might be an option. Van Dijk to whoever, a Spurs defender probably, then Zinchenko to Rico the week after, and Abraham in. Could happen. That means I'm basically playing Robertson, Lucas Digne, and a Spurs defender every week. Are Spurs that good? The only time I'd start worrying about Mendy is when I see him on the pitch, basically. He's not just going to suddenly play loads of games. Like, he's been injured for so long. Triple captain Sterling or Aguero. I mean, I guess, again, take a look at how long they both play in the Champions League. If Aguero gets rested, I think he looks like another good bet this week at home. Stop flipping mocking every team. Not really mocking every team. I'm talking through why, or giving a very brief comment on why I'm not happy about going for any defenders. Salah broke his foot. Yeah, I think we'd heard of that. Will Otamendi now, will he play? I mean, I think if you've got him, you keep him. If you don't, you probably don't bring him in. I mean, what if he now gets... Oh no, Otamendi, I suppose it'd be Stones that would get dropped, right? We'll have to see. Daniel James is 0.3 million less than Mount. Yeah, so I guess I should rephrase the 0.3. There's loads of ways I could get that money. There's not many players that I actually want to get rid of. So I don't want to get rid of Mount. I don't really want to get rid of Salah, Sterling, De Bruyne, Barnes or Pookie as well. I don't want to get rid of them. So it's really defence is where I want to make the money. I could do Salah to Mane. That is a consideration that I will probably not do. Aguero triple captain. Firmino, James to Son and Tammy. I mean, Firmino is in great form, but Liverpool's fixtures are about to turn. James, I mean, I still think James is okay, but Son and Tammy does sound like a better combo. But I'm not sure you need to make that switch this week. Aguero triple captain, I mean, if you think he's going to haul, go for it. Just obviously, it's one game week, only got one chance at it. We saw what happened last week with Sterling triple captainers. The difference is it's at home this week. Stop with the Salah ditching. Yeah, okay. You know I'm not going to do it. Mount versus Abraham. I mean, if I absolutely had to pick one, I'd probably go... Would I stick with Mount? I think the fact that he's cheaper I kind of like. I mean, Abraham's not going to score hat-tricks every week. So I think I'd probably go for Mount. But I mean, double up looks fine now, doesn't it? Given how good they're playing. There are polls tonight, which I obviously have forgotten about. Stick or twist on Sterling. Is Aurier a good option? Sorry, some of it's about my team, but people did ask me on Twitter. Best non-Pookie 7 million-ish forward. So Wilson, Halea, and Abraham, and Salah versus Aubameyang for the next few weeks. A lot of people looking at that. Mount will have more game time. I mean, Abraham looks pretty nailed, to be honest. Your defense is too expensive. Unlike last season, the stats say defenders are not cutting it. This is the thing, though. You're right. I think the difference is they haven't cut it so far. Will they continue to not cut it? That is the big decision. Man City, the fixtures are just so good. You've got to think there's clean sheets coming. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Again, though, the question I would ask people is, yes, big at the back is gone. Which cheap defenders are you running with? How long am I streaming for? I don't know, probably another half an hour. We'll see how we get on. See how many times I go round and round in circles. Just can't defend. No, the thing is, I wouldn't just get rid of Salah. I'd be getting rid of Salah for Mane. But I'm not probably going to do it. Is Mahrez a shout for Champions League fantasy? I mean, maybe. I don't really know, to be honest. Not really sure how that game works. So this is where I am going to say no to all these options, right? So Maitland-Niles, right? Arsenal defence, though. Arsenal defence. It did cross my mind at the weekend. I saw Kolasinac get the assist. I checked his price, and then I saw Maitland-Niles' price, and then he got an assist, which was nice. But then they conceded 2 goals, and I think that's going to continue. And Bellerin will be back soon, and Tierney will be back for the left-back spot. You'd imagine he'll get straight in. David Luiz, too expensive. Socrates, 5 million. It's Arsenal defence. This is the biggest problem. They have got so many mistakes in them. It's not cool. So, I like Arsenal's fixtures, and I really wish they were good in defence. Just can't do it. I just can't do it. Yeah, so Aston Villa. So I do like I like the option of Aston Villa, but I don't know. I suppose after Arsenal, they're not bad. Burnley at home, Norwich away, Brighton at home. But I mean, if you look at their next fixtures from game week 6 to 11, and maybe I'm being a bit pessimistic about all these defenders, right? But they've got Arsenal away, Man City away, Liverpool at home. So half of their fixtures are those. One of them's Norwich away. Do I expect them to get a clean sheet against Pookie and co? Probably not. So you're looking at Burnley at home, Brighton at home. Maybe 2 clean sheets in the next 6. Probably wouldn't be that bad for a 4.5. Especially they could nick another one. But I need someone that I can play most weeks, basically. I am pretty tempted just to get a Man United defender. I know, there's bias. It's just the two home games in the next 4 are Arsenal and Liverpool. Could they keep it tight against Arsenal? Probably not. West Ham and Newcastle away. I just think we've been defending okay, and I don't know if we've been defending okay, or it's the fact that I watch Maguire actually head balls away and think, feels like a long time since we've had a defender that can do that. I just feel like Maguire does the simplest things, and I think, wow, I've not seen that in Man United shirt for so long. Yeah, Gilbert is attacking, so that isn't a decent. That is a decent shout. Sorry. Fernandinho will come with stays. Let's see if he does. Hopefully he does. Zinchenko, I need him. United defence is statistically good. Exactly. Okay, let's see who else we got. What other questions we got here? Having Pope and Pookie next game week, isn't that contradictory? It is, but you can't have the... Let me put my team back. You can't have the best team every week. Right? It's a season-long game. I've got Pope in for a set of fixtures. To be honest, when I probably brought him in, I probably thought that Norwich home was a good fixture. Now, not so much. West Ham looked terrible against Villa. I mean, the helicopter is going to be so... It's just going to be gone now, isn't it? Crystal Palace's defence was statistically good, the best before this game week. Yeah, but then they played the mighty Sun. You know, that's the difference. Man United are playing West Ham. Haller is now the worst striker in the league. Arsenal. Aubameyang can't keep scoring 2 and 2. Two goals for 2 shots. Newcastle. I mean, who have they got scored? Some guy called Willems. Never heard of him. Liverpool. By that point, they're going to be knackered. That's another clean sheet. Norwich. Pookie will be being sold by then. So maybe 5 clean sheets and 5 for Man United. I don't know. Thoughts on Pepe? I would definitely avoid him. I mean, that was one of the reasons. I mean, I'm sure he's going to come good at some point, but that was one of the reasons I kind of mentioned him as a bit of a pump, because De Bruyne, similar price, and Son, similar price. It's very hard to go for Pepe instead. It's hard to argue that. Man United clean sheets. Yeah, like, people like saying my team's fine. I know it's fine. Honestly, I do. Like, I know it's, you know, it's decent enough. But I've got a free transfer. But there is a little part of me that thinks Liverpool got Chelsea away, Sheffield United away, and Leicester at home. Is there 1 or 2 clean sheets there? Have they gotten a bit unlucky? Maybe. The thing is, if I keep both my Liverpool defenders, which I think it is a reach to hope they're going to get points in the next few, what do I do with the transfer? Do I just burn it? I'm not sure the team's that good. When should the triple captain come into play? The majority of us are going to wait until a double game week. They're going to wait until there's a team playing twice. You hope a player plays twice, double the chance at points. Otherwise, take it out on a fixture where I think all you need to do is be confident that the player is going to play, and then it's a good fixture and then they're in form. The rest is good. So, you know, Man City against a Norwich-like team when Norwich aren't playing out of their skin. You know, Liverpool versus a bottom half team or whatever at home. Maybe not straight after Europe, etc. Stuff like that. But later on in the season, maybe we'll have a clearer picture. I don't think you have to use it in double game week, but I guess you're giving yourself more odds. Your show clashes with the breakfast show. Can't you just go on that? I mean, I maybe could, but I could also just do stuff on here. If I had Cantwell versus Burnley, you play him over Matt. This is why I can't get Cantwell unless I'm playing 3-5-2. Yeah, some of the transfers I saw, Zinchenko to Walker, I got nothing in the bank, so I can't do that. I can't do Dendoncker to Cantwell. Quick segue. I don't have a good segue, but we're going to quickly segue into the Patreon supporters. Thanks very much for signing up. Oof, green screen. It was poor. Maybe that's what someone meant earlier. So thanks to everyone that signed up, all the producers on screen now, as well as new patrons, Laura S. and you what, mate? Also signed up this week. So Slack invites have already gone out or are coming, so you can come and chat into the Patreon Slack channel. And then the new league code will go out in October. So the current leader of the league for September is Ollie Callione, who's 61 points so far. Obviously, we've only got a couple of game weeks in. So we'll see how that goes for the rest of September. But there'll be a new league in October. So if you want to sign up, make sure you check out the link in the description below. Thanks to everyone that's supported so far. Much appreciated. 61 points is obviously not right because we've got another game week, but it hasn't updated yet. Aguero has more points than Sterling. Aguero's been very good this season. Ain't nobody can say otherwise. Oh, Jesus. Take out Salah and put in Son. Yeah. Do you know what? I have thought about something like that. The problem is, a move like that really... Anytime I've done that, right? Anytime I've done that kind of move, where I've basically taken out the really expensive player and a cheap player and put in two, slightly higher priced, slightly middle of the range, For example, without working out the maths, maybe I take out Salah and Mount and put in Son and Pepe. I know that doesn't work. Don't think. Actually, it's probably pretty close. It's probably pretty close. Yeah, so I would take out Salah or Mount and put in Son and Pepe. It just never seems to work, even though in your head you think it does, because, I don't know, you just think it should work. Because you're kind of spreading the funds better. It always backfires. I did that with Lukaku a few seasons back. Took him out, put someone else in. I can't remember who I put in now, but that backfired. I took out Salah and Son to go for Sané and someone last year. That went really wrong. And maybe you can say it was a stupid decision at the time, but I just got that in the back of my head. Like, Salah's done nothing to make me think he should be taken out. What's up, Shawnee? Mane has more points per game. Is there much in it, though? I know Luke is a massive fan of Mr. Mane. Salah's on 9 points per match. Mane's on 8. .9% Son when he gets a break. My missus, she asked me to look at her team on Friday night, and I said I'll look at it tomorrow. And then she went out, and it was just before I went on to stream, deadline stream. I messaged her and said, I don't know if you've done your changes yet. I'd probably look at taking out Lucas Moura and I can't remember who I said about putting up front, probably Haller. I said I've already done it. She took Son out. She took Son out for De Bruyne. Devastating. Yanks, thanks very much for that. Good to see you. Tough week for me. I got 66. Get out of here, Shawnee. You can't come in here with comments like that. That's a great week. Manny didn't play the first game. Yeah, but... hang on a sec. Oh, wait, does the... yeah, no, fair enough. I thought the... oh, he did play in the first game. He played 16 minutes. That's why FPL counts him. Otherwise, you'd have to do 39 divided by 4. But still, yeah, you're right. It'd still be a good return. Alright, let's see if we've got any other suggestions we've not already talked about. My captain is on screen for next week. Will she be putting Son back in? I doubt it. I mean, De Bruyne is a good pick, right? You got Son and Firmino. I mean, Firmino has looked great. Don't get me wrong. So that's a decent shout. Obviously, you just got to hope it keeps working out like that. The sound of you drinking makes me want to start watching. Got to drink, man. Got to stay hydrated. It's boiling in here. What did I think when Mark brought Wesley in? I did think... I mean, I'm not really looking at getting Wesley in at all. I guess it just fit with his... the thing is, Mark goes... like, you just can't question Mark. 65 points again this week. Top of the Mods and Cons League Fantasy Football Scout. And he'll probably stay there for the rest of the season. So I'm sure Wesley's going to get a hat-trick soon. No week in mind for the wildcard, to be honest. Captain Aubameyang versus Aston Villa. I guess if you think he's going to outscore the City boys, yeah. I mean, it's a decent enough shout, to be honest. Alright, I'm going to do the polls. I'm going to refresh, get these polls done. Hudson-Odoi. I mean, everyone's going to be looking at him. Let's see if he does anything when he's back. Stick or twist on Sterling. 86% staying stick. Is Aurier a good option? No. He's trap central. 71%. Best non-Pookie 7 million-ish forward. 71% loving Abraham. Obviously a hat-trick helps. 14% on Wilson. Only 13% on Haller. I guess a lot of that is because he's the only one that blanked this week. And Salah versus Aubameyang for the next few weeks. It's close. Salah does win, but it's pretty close. 57%. Aubameyang on 43%. So decent enough. Thanks very much if you voted on those polls. You can see Sterling and Aguero getting rested midweek. De Bruyne playing. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean, it does feel like selling Sterling is one of those that will massively punish you. Watford at home. You want a worse fixture before you start getting rid of him, to be honest. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there. I know it's a bit of a short one, but it's also quite a late one as well, so I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for tuning in. I've got my team selection video tomorrow. The points predictor will be later in the week because basically I got drunk on Saturday and was hungover yesterday, so the order is a bit out of the place this week, but no more beer next weekend because whatever. And